Well, it's all happening in the commodity markets. Manisha is now joining in to put the spotlight on the crude market.
Thank you for that. Well, yes, you woke up with a very strong gain coming in for the crude oil prices. Until last evening, we were down by 2%, by the way, in the New York session. It all started happening in early Asia markets that you saw the crude oil prices open up at 5% to 6%, went all the way up to 12% as well, and it's trading 10% on the higher side right now. If you look at the prices, then we are up by 17% in this week, and this is the best weekly gain that the crude oil prices have seen since the year of 2022 there. And if you look at the last 1 month, we've turned positive here as well, up 20% now. And in this year as well, we've turned in the positive. Until last week, we were down by nearly 7% for the crude oil prices. But as you can see on your screens, with the kind of gains that we have seen come in today, we are up by nearly 6% for the year right now. And when you look at the previous last 2 years, well, of course, the crude oil prices are still trading into the negative there. But this year has seen positive. The cues clearly coming in early morning after Israel conducted a preemptive strike on Iran. And the various statements that have been coming in from Israel as well are keeping the crude oil prices up at 10% in the Asian markets right now. The attack does set off a new conflict in West Asia, and there are now fears of regional war as well coming in, supporting the prices. Well, Israel has declared a state of emergency as it braces for retaliation from Iran. Iran, remember, has been issuing statements saying that it can retaliate not just on Israel and other countries, but especially on U.S. bases as well. Iran has threatened to target U.S. bases if nuclear talks fail. We also have seen reports that Iran could soon retaliate against Israeli targets, including civilian areas as well. So this whole Middle East tensions is what has led to the crude oil prices boiling, as it were. The prospects of broader conflict in West Asia and the fact that it could lead to supply disruptions going forward as well is what is leading the prices where they are. Strait of Hormuz is an important vital route, remember, and nearly 20% of global oil flows through here. Red Sea concerns are still ongoing. We've seen those container freight issues continue into the market, and this could be an added one. The U.S. personnel, in the meanwhile, have continued to move out of the region with ongoing threats. This has been happening for the last 2 or 3 days now, ahead of these attacks and the kind of statements that we saw from Iran coming in as well. Interestingly, importantly, Trump also yesterday said that he expressed actually frustration that oil prices had risen amid supply concerns within the Middle East, and that he doesn't see oil prices moving beyond 70 or 75, but we are trading at around $76 a barrel at this point in time. It's not just about crude. When you look at the crude derivatives like natural gas, heating oil, gasoline, those prices are trading above nearly 4% right now. We're trading at multi-week and multi-month highs for many of these commodities at this point in time. So when you look at the prices itself, well, last month was a good one. We saw 11% of gains coming in for the month of April, and May was up 11%, and June is up 18% at this point in time. And if you look at the crude oil prices on an year-on-year basis, the last couple of years were in the negative. We saw 10% of decline in 23, down 3% for 24, but we are up by 5% in this year now. Last week, it was down by 6%. We're trading 5% on the higher side right now. So that 11% of a move clearly comes in the overnight markets.
Thank you very much for that. Get into